In addition to ensuring user data privacy and security, the team must consider transparency in the use of collected information in informed user consent. This involves establishing responsible and ethical development practices, as well as safeguards to protect the integrity of user data and prevent misuse. Furthermore, the team should consider the environmental impact of its structure and operations, such as energy consumption and waste management. Lastly, responsible use of user data involves implementing clear privacy and data security policies, along with measures to protect identity and personal information.
Hi, my name is Daniel and I'm part of the Kotlin team. First, for the ethical implications inside our team, I always worry about delivering transparent and honest work. It's really important. Also, respect with my teammates, and also when assigning tasks, be careful with that. Each one of us has to do equal work. As for the societal and environmental conditions and implications, it is important to know that we're trading with events and people's information. So we have to be very careful about how we treat the information and how we treat the data. And also, lastly, for the project in general, the ethical implications in this Sprint 3, we are aware that we are storing information of the user inside the phone and also in the cloud. So it's very careful to know how to manage this information because it's very sensitive.
I'm Tony Montes. I'm part of the Hive team, especially in the Flutter sub team. And now that we're moving on with the performance of the application, something that we have to take into account for the ethical component of the application is the treatment of the user data, especially now that we're using or trying to solve some performance bug. We have to take into account that this bug should be well solved in order not to show to the user information that should not be able to see, and hide the information that should be shown only for certain users. Now about the societal and environmental impact of the application is now seen in how the real users are treating with the application and what things should be displayed on each of the views that we're managing. For example, now that we're treating with performance, something that we have to take into account is that the performance of the view of each view that the application shows to the user should, for example, be as fast as possible or take into account some certain circumstances of the user, for example, the connectivity and the slow Wi-Fi or data mobile.
My ethical concern in this sprint 3 is how Hive manages the user information. That's why I decided to keep the data from the user, that is the email and its name, on cache. This is in order that if someone hacks the user's cell phone, the data that will be there will be the user's name. That is not really something problematic. For example, something that is really sensitive is the user password. This is something that we want to keep on the user hands, so we as a Hive team decided to do not keep on local storage or in cache the password user. We only want the user to log in and keep the data safe. For example, another thing we do is that in the backend, there's no way to know which user is associated to each event. So we are trying to keep the app really good for the user. We want to keep the app secure and we want to bring a great experience for the user. Thank you.
Luca Rojas, and today I'm going to explain a little bit about the ethical implications of being part of the Team 31 in this course. So basically, I always like to help my teammates. I always want to manage the team like environment, and I want everybody to be confident to give their opinions inside the group. Additionally, the societal and environmental implications and impact of this project are big. In this case of Sprint 3, we managed to improve performance and like efficiency, so we use less resources and in this manner help the environment. And finally, the ethical implications we have are basically that as we are showing a lot of events that are cached and are stored in local storage, we want the user to know that these are not the actual events of the application. In this manner, we show a title that like allows the user to know that those events are actually saved locally and not in the cloud.
Regarding to the ethical implication, it is essential to ensure the privacy and security of the user data. As for impact on society and environment, the application can promote student engagement and enhance university life. But it's crucial to consider efficiency and sustainability in its implementation. Furthermore, the ethical implication of the product include to need to avoid promoting events that encourage hate speech, ensuring safety, preventing harassment among the users, and promoting diversity and inclusion within the university community. In summary, the development and operation of this application require an ethical and responsible approach that addresses these consideration throughout the entire process.